Hello, all of my people. I don't know what to call you, so put it down in the comment section. Put a name that you would like for me to call you, and that's what I'll call you. Anyways, as you can tell by the title of this video, it is called My Life Story. It's about where I started and where I am now. I've gone through a lot, so, yeah. So, here we go. In 2005, June 29th, I was born in Washington. I don't know where, but yeah, I was born in Washington. I was 2 foot long and 8 ounces. I was a long, skinny baby, but I didn't really know my father that well because whenever I was 2, my mom and him got a divorce and we moved back to Texas. When we moved to Texas, we had to live with my Gammy and Pawpaw until we were stable enough to live on our own. And whenever we were able to live on our own, we moved in a apartment in Burleson. It's by the Arby's. That's how I remember where it was. When I was there, some kid stole my Mimsy rabbit. And person, if you are watching this, I wish to have that rabbit back because I really liked that rabbit. Anyways, we lived there for about a year, and then we had to move out because the apartment was getting too expensive. But when we moved out, we went and lived with my Gammy again, but my mom started working at a place called Owens. It's in Godley, and there my mom met her boyfriend. His name is Kevin, and not too much later we moved in with him, and I started going to school in Godley, and my mom had a baby. Her name was Aurora. Yeah, I'm not gonna say much about her. We lived there for about 2 years, and then once again, my stepdad, he likes guns, and he wasted a lot of our money on guns and stuff for guns. So we lost a lot of money really fast because guns are a lot of money. Like, they're really expensive. We had to move out again, but this time we didn't move to my Gammy's house. We moved to my Meemaw's house. And the living conditions there were not very good. Their dogs peed and pooped on the floor, and she smoked inside the house. And I remember this one time, my cousin Jaden got me in trouble, and my Meemaw did not like me. Like, she absolutely hated me. And what she told me was disturbing to the point where I started crying. She told me if I did not start behaving, she would take me out to the pasture and beat me with a belt where no one could hear me. Like, do you know how sad that is for a little kid to hear? It was a very difficult time living there, but eventually my Meemaw got used to me and started liking me a little bit more and more. But when I was 7, I was diagnosed with C. diff. It is a deadly disease in your intestines where if it's not treated soon enough, you will die. And for the longest time, I was just having this stomach issues and missing school over and over, and we didn't know why. We went to a lot of different doctors, and they just told me it was a stomach bug and it would be gone in a few days, but it never went away. And so finally, we went to a different doctor, and he said that I had C. diff. And whenever I was 7, I went around lots of hospitals and doctor's offices and stuff, and he said it's a disease that goes around many hospitals and doctor's offices. And he said we had gotten there just in the nick of time, because if it wasn't treated in the next, like 6 months, I probably would not be here today. And so I got put on antibiotics, and there's all this other stuff that I had to go through that was so difficult. But now my C. diff is gone. I was cured when I was about 8.5, and so it was good, and we moved out again. We got our own house in Joshua, and I went to Godley again. Godley is a big school, and I don't really like big schools, and so I didn't really like it there, so I didn't do very well in any subject. So once again, I moved around a lot whenever I was little. Once again, we moved back to my Meemaw's house, and it was difficult again. I don't really like it there. As you can tell, we're obviously not there anymore, because I would not be sitting on the floor right now if we lived there, because they have scorpions in their house on the floor everywhere. I hated taking showers there because I was scared one was gonna crawl out of the shower drain and attack me. So, yeah, that's how scary it was living there. We eventually moved out, and we didn't move that far. We moved to my Uncle Scott's house, and my mom had another baby. His name is Hunter. I'm not going to say much about my siblings because they're siblings. I mean, I love them, yes, but I don't like talking about them in videos unless they're here with me, so you're not going to hear a lot about them. I was not happy whenever my mom had Hunter, and I was also not happy whenever my mom had Aurora, because I was an only child for 7 years. When I was 7, my mom had my sister. That's a long time, so obviously I did not want them, but I've learned to like them. I like some more than others, but we're not going to bring that into this story. As you can tell, I have not talked about my biological father once, except for at the beginning whenever I said him and my mom got a divorce. And that is because I don't really know him. He sends me presents on my birthday and on Christmas, of course, but I don't really talk to him that much because he doesn't talk to me. And last summer, I went on vacation, and we went to Washington, and I got to meet him for the first time in 11 years. That's a long time to not meet someone. And I'm not going to really talk about that trip because that trip was sad. I'm just not going to get into it. Anyways, like I was saying, we moved to my uncle's house, and things weren't as bad, but they were still a little rough. We lived there for about 2 years, and I started going to Blum. Now, I'm going to talk about Blum because this is the best school that I've ever been to. I have so many friends that I love, and I like the teachers, I like the people, I like the staff. I love everything about the school. And if you don't know what Blum is, it's because it's really tiny. It's greatness. I love it. I met my best friend, Skylar. She's the biggest ray of sunshine, but if you tick her off, it's bad. She hit me in the head with a book once. Yeah, that's enough with that story. Anyways, I also met my second best friend. Her name is Emma. She has her own YouTube channel that she does drawings on. And Emma, I know you're watching this video because you're subscribed. But these friends, I have more friends. I'm just not going to name them because that's going to take a long time. But Blum is just the best. I love it so much. But March of 2018, my mom had come and picked me up from Emma's house. She got me a ripstick, which is pretty legit. I love ripsticks. Anyways, that day she got me a ripstick, and she came to pick me up from Emma's house a little bit early, which I didn't know why. It was a school night, yes, but usually she doesn't come and pick me up until 7:30, and she came and picked me up at 5:30. So I was a little confused, and we get home. The car ride home was silent, there was no talking at all. And we get home, and I go to grab my ripstick to open it. She said, "Natalie, come sit down. I need to talk to you." And one of the rooms was cleaned out, so I was assuming, oh my god, thank god, I'm finally getting my own room, but no, that was not the case. My mom told me that her and my stepdad were getting a divorce. And that hit a little too close to home. He had been there since I was 5, so he was like my actual dad, and he meant the world to me. She didn't tell me why they were getting a divorce. She just said that they were and they didn't get along anymore, and that he was going to have his own room until we were able to move out. And the next day I went to school, and I didn't talk to anyone for the whole day. Someone would ask me what was wrong and I would just cry, because I was worried that he was gonna leave like the other one did, and I did not know what to do. I was sad for about a week, and then I went to my Gammy's house, and she asked if I would talk about it, and I said yeah. So we talked about it for a little bit, and she goes, "So did your mom tell you why they were getting a divorce?" I said yeah. She said because they didn't get along anymore. She said no. She said the reason they were getting a divorce is because my dad cheated on my mom, and so they just ended it. And I understand why they ended it. It was a terrible thing to do, but things needed to be done, and so they were done. We were going to live at my aunt's house, but it was too expensive because we were going to live in the camper, and the electric and water bill was super expensive. And so right now we're living at my Gammy and Pawpaw's house. It is a little rough, but stuff is going on. We're getting it fixed up, and right now I'm having to sleep on the couch, and we're having to drive from Joshua to Blum every day. But it's worth it, because my mom's in school right now, and she only has a year left until she graduates and becomes a nurse. And we're gonna build a house in Blum and get all this awesome stuff. And so things happen for a reason. And just because you don't want those things to happen doesn't mean you can try and fix it. If it happens, let it happen. Like, you can't fix it. There's nothing you can do. So I've just kind of learned to live with it. I've learned to live with being let down and lied to. So right now the only people I can rely on are my mom and my closest friends, because those are really the only people I can talk to. And so yeah, that's my life story and where I am now. In a year I'll have my own room in a big house in Blum, close to all my friends. And that's what keeps me up at night and what makes me think I can do this. I can get through this time in my life, and it will be okay. So don't let other people bring you down. Don't let things in your life bring you down. Things happen for a reason, and I think this thing happened for the better. So I love y'all, and I'll see you at my next video. Bye.